Arex Delta M Gen 2 in almost GBGuns gray. Off camera, T and I decided which backstrap worked for both of us, and believe it or not, it was the larger one, adding a little bit of space here. This gun is so thin, handy for carry in that sense, that we ended up with kind of improper trigger finger placement, so we went with the larger one to give us a little more length of pull. Start things off with our 10 cold shots. We've got our typical ABC zone reduced size torso out there at about 20 yards, and we're using CCI bulk 115 grain basic ammo. Just get a feel for this thing. I'm excited about this. I wanted to shoot this thing for a long time, and I had to wait a few weeks to get out to the range, so I'm anxious. God, this is narrow in the front. I gotta say, I saw a lot of comments on the internet from other folks that this thing was snappy or high recoiling. I can say it's more than other guns of its size, but less than most of the micro compacts that everyone is so excited about. And this ledge here really works well as a micro gas pedal for your support thumb, making it pretty darn shootable. Trigger's nice and crisp. I'm liking this. Let's see what Tia thinks.
All right, so now it's my turn with the Arex. I like the size of it. It feels a little more husky than what I'm used to carrying daily, and I've grown to like that. Definitely has some flip in the front. That trigger is really controllable though. Oh, and I'm out just when I'm getting warmed up. I agree with anybody that said that it's a little snappy in the hand. I'm feeling a little bit of wear here on my knuckle, but other than that, I actually really enjoy it. So let's get on with a full review.
And our full reviews, of course, include, well, starting with the full mag plus one test, really kind of a mag test. Going to be using the extended, so that's going to give us a total of 18 rounds in this little guy. Then we do our what's for dinner test, trademarked of course, the spinner test for trigger and sights, and an accuracy test, and then we'll give you our concluding thoughts. So another thing I noticed just in playing with this is the right hand side mag release is a lot stiffer than the left hand side. Almost to the point of being painful. I'd have to take like a long 4-day course to know if that's really a thing or not. It's not functioning on the left side anymore. I was going to demonstrate the contrast. Hopefully it empties once the gun's empty. There we go. And the mag just blew apart. Spring flew off over the berm. We're going to take a brief pause and collect up this magazine and try to load everything up again. This is what irritates me about paid videos, because I watch them too. And there's lots of videos on this gun, none of them mentioning these problems. Maybe ours is a fluke, who knows? But what we just had was the mag release fail. When it finally did give up the mag fell 4.5 feet or so onto gravel and exploded. We recovered the body, the follower, and the floor plate. The spring shot off. We spent the last 10 minutes combing the banks of the range here, losing daylight. I guess this is a warranty thing, but that's really annoying because now we've got one mag for the rest of the review. So, full mag plus one, I'm going to chamber. Here we go again with that mag release. And then top off this 15 rounder. So we are still getting a full mag plus one. The 15th round is quite difficult to load. These are 115 grain CCI spears, in case anyone wants to check against that. We've got our torso at about 20 yards. I'm going to try to hit it as rapidly as I can, but mostly what we're testing is can the gun, cycle, and the magazine function through all of those shots with this ammo on this day. No issues at slide lock. The recoil quite controllable. The trigger is a hard crunch. It's got a very firm wall that kind of inspires you to mash through it. But that's a good thing. It serves as a safety in a way, and also probably excellent for shooters with less training looking for, well, to help fight that mash urge, because it needs to be mashed. Slide lock back to the rear. Mag release kind of worked. And that right side slide release works. Also works as a slide stop. Love that. Now with our single mag, we'll get into what's for dinner, see what this gun eats. This might be an interesting review. It's what's for dinner time with the, interestingly enough, difficult to find TV dinner tray. In 2020, 2021, not many of these out there. Big thanks to our Patreon supporters and our Ammo Squared supporters. You guys are how we keep this going. For those unfamiliar with the test, we go silly light to silly heavy, steel case, aluminum case, brass case, nickel-plated brass, and now thanks to our friends at ZQI Ammunition, nickel-plated steel case, hollow points, full metal jackets, truncated, you name the bullet type. And the reason why it's called What's for Dinner is we're looking to see what the gun will eat. This is all good ammo. The guns are known to be good guns. Does the combination of this particular ammo and gun work? 3 rounds, see if it feeds from slide lock. Is there enough energy to cycle and properly chamber the next round of same type? A 3rd shot just to reduce any variables, because not every round is perfect. Then we'll take a look at the paper and see how this stuff prints. First load of what's for dinner is our light for caliber Winchester Super Clean. These are 90 grain with a stubby nose, lightweight bullet, uncommon shape, can sometimes cause issues, chambered just fine there. Circle number 1, see how it shoots. Very nicely. Printing lower than I was aiming, but that is a nice group. Next, from Europe, same continent as the Arex, the Norma MHP monolithic hollow point, 108 grain, also a little bit light. Tends to do very well, a nice long projectile. Circle number 2. Also pretty good printing, no cycling issues. This nice low profile slide release is definitely staying out of my way. Those of you that have watched the channel for any length of time know that my big thumbs tend to get in the way of slide releases, and then we have a failure to lock back. Not an issue with the Arex. Next is the HAG, Hornady's American Gunner, 115 grain XTP hollow point. Kind of a short stubby round. Trigger surprised me there. No cycling issues. Trigger might be breaking in. Now we've got Blazer aluminum 115 grain. Remember, aluminum and steel have different expansion and contraction rates, not only from each themselves, but from brass, what cases are usually made out of, and a different friction coefficient, causing them to stick in some guns and not in others. That's why we test it. Circle number 4. The trigger is definitely getting better pull by pull. Now we've got Wolf 115 grain, steel cased. Remember, steel and aluminum, no, just kidding, I just said all that stuff. If you guys don't know it by now, you haven't been paying attention. Circle number 5 for the steel. These can be punchy. I'm curious how they'll feel in this lightweight pistol. Oh, they're punchy. It's rocking my thumb off the little ledge on the left side of the frame. Pulled that third one, otherwise would have been a good group. Impressive accuracy so far.
And for the next course on circle number 6 is the Spirit Gold Dot. These are the law enforcement 124 grain.
Nickel plated cases.
They're nickel plated cases. These are some of my favorite because they're sexy. And for circle number 7, we have the ZQI 124 grain NATO rated nickel plated steel.
I think it's NATO-like. I don't think it's
NATO-like?
actually a true NATO load, but it's hot like a NATO load.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, fabulous. Circle number 7. I really like that loaded chamber indicator. It's very much more prominent than the ones I've experienced in the past. Like, I would have to make a conscious note to note it rather than it just being in your face. And for circle number 8, I have the Norma Hexagon 124 grain match grade.
Shooting pretty nice though.
And next are the Federal 138 grain synthetic jacketed hollow point.
Segmented at that.
Segmented, jacketed, synthetic. It's all the things. Circle number 9. That trigger did sneak up on me on that one. But I'm really enjoying the authoritative yet manageable recoil that this gun has. For dessert, if you will, PPU's 158 grain
Subsonic.
Subsonic full metal jackets.
Big ol' honkin' bullet.
It is a big bullet, but they always really shoot very nice. Circle number 10. I really like the sights on these things. It's really easy to get your sight picture.
Was that a segue? Because next we've got the spinner test.
I mean, hopefully they help. I'd like to do this one of these days.
So this is our Titan Great Outdoors 6-inch spinner target. We are back about 15 yards from it, which makes it kind of small. We give ourselves 8 or 10 rounds. In this case, it's 10 rounds. To try to spin it over the top. It's kind of a fun game for us, but what it's really doing is giving us a chance to reflect on the sights and the trigger. How well and quickly can the sights be aligned to a moving target under a unpredictable speed time? This is better than running one of those shot clocks because we don't know when it's going to go off. And then how well can we manage the trigger control to keep hitting that? You got to hit the spinner when it's on its way away from you, because if you hit it on the way towards, you lose momentum. It's also a little bit of a demonstration of what kind of energy comes out of these guns, assuming we can hit the same spot and we're using good ammo. This is CCI bulk 115 grain, probably on the softer side. Tia's up first.
If I could count faster, I could get it. Oh, am I out? No. But I flinched. Now I'm out.
You let in some good hits.
That was a good run for me. The sights make it really easy. Like, I really enjoyed these sights, and the trigger, very controllable for this kind of an exercise. I could run this on a 4-day course if it didn't kick me so hard.
I noticed too some slight distraction from the brass coming back and hit me about every other piece. A lot of folks like to blame the gun right away for that. Oh, these guns do this to me, I get hit in the forehead. More time than not, it's the ammo. This being soft ammo, it's a softer ejection, so it's not going as far. Those of you folks watching who might have said, oh, well, this gun always kicks brass that way, watch our What's for Dinner tests and notice which way the brass flies and with what authority, load by load. It's different for every gun.
Yeah, because there's some loads that hit me directly every time, and others that take a completely different path.
My turn on the spinner.
It is your turn on the spinner.
Fortunately, the time it took to reload the one mag we have functioning, most of the momentum is gone. All right, let's see how this goes. Blacked out rear sight sure makes the front dot pop.
There it is.
Got a little cocky on that one.
Whoa, one more, all right.
Ah! I'm out.
Well done.
That's probably a personal best for me on the spinner. That with soft ammo was going really well. What made that possible? As I mentioned, contrast of a nice bright front sight on blacked out rear sights with good clean notches made aiming easy, and the trigger has a very predictable wall. It made timing the shots pretty damn easy. That combined with a little bit of luck, and I don't know, it's finally under 90 degrees out here, so I was shooting better. But yeah, this is why we do that test. You've seen us do this with other guns, and great results today with the Delta. For 5 shots from 7 yards, we're going to be using this new ZQI stuff. This is the 124 grain full metal jacket, nickel plated steel. Kind of an interesting concept. Beautifully made, gives you the perks of steel, of lower cost and long-term storage, higher pressure, etc., but the nickel plating to keep it from rusting and to resist having chambering issues. I'll be shooting at the left circle square. See how this goes. This ammo is smoky. And even though I'm the one shooting, Tia's still getting the brass at her.
And it's hot.
Very hot. Steel retains that heat longer.
I'm going to be using the same ammo that Graham did, and I'm going to shoot at the right circle square from about 7 yards for accuracy. These sights are so nice. Oh, flinched.
First 3 were solid.
Yeah, it was there. Like it was there, and I went with it. Having that flinch between the 4th and 5th shot obviously worked against me. I'm okay with that. The more that we have shot this, the more I've come to enjoy shooting it. Even though that trigger can sneak up on you a little bit, I would definitely want to train with this some more. But the next shot doesn't sneak up on you, which is something that I've experienced before in carry guns, which make me leery about carrying that particular gun for self-defense. If it weren't for the issues that Grandma's already pointed out, this would be something that I might consider as a great defensive tool, because that the notch on the back for the sights, it's just there. The distance that you get between it is perfect to give you your sight picture. The loaded chamber indicator, I really appreciate that, and the overall ergonomics of the gun just seemed to fit me really well. I was initially feeling a bit of the beaver tail digging into my thumb. I haven't noticed it the last couple iterations of our review that we go through. So overall, it gets a pass for me. I haven't played a lot with these releases. That side, I'm not strong enough for at all. The other side works fine. And when looking at it at home, this will stick in and not come out until you push the other side. So again, a definite fail on that, not fail, but something to be concerned about there for the ambi. It just kind of makes the ambi irrelevant on that side. Otherwise, great gun.
My concluding thoughts on the Delta M. I do have a little bit of sensitivity in my wrist. The recoil is higher than you'd get for other guns of this size. However, as I said in the beginning, I don't think it's any worse than the micro compacts that everyone's crazy about. And part of why it feels like more recoil is because it's a lighter weight gun. And that's what people look for when they want a carry gun. You can't have both. The Walther Q5 match steel frame, super comfy to shoot, a boat anchor to carry. Right? We don't carry guns that heavy, we carry something lighter. I think this is a good carry option. I am concerned about that mag release. It seems to be working now most of the time, but I'd want that to get looked at by warranty. And only having one mag is also no bueno, because the other mag exploded on us when it dropped, in a way failing a full mag test, though we don't normally drop test mags because we don't like to drop mags. I had to that time because I was pushing so damn hard on the mag release that I wasn't focusing on anything else. Yeah, so there is a potential mag issue. Mags, of course, are the heart of the firearm. Without good mags, you don't have a good gun. That leaves me a little bit on the hesitant side. Everything else, though, I thought was great. It's kind of unfortunate. I love the sighting system. I came to really like that trigger. A little bit sharper recoil, but like I said, that's acceptable for a carry gun. Especially in defensive shooting, you're not going through many mags in a day, so not a problem there really. I just I can't quite feel 100% about it yet between the mag release and the mags. Everything else I liked. As far as grouping with non-match ammo, those turned out pretty good. I'm getting a little bit of shooter fatigue in the day, but for that and non-match ammo, I'm happy with it. The gun was certainly controllable enough.